Hello, I am on day 26 of NoFap. I just came out of the shower. It was a warm shower, but I had a blast of cold at the end because I'm still building that habit in. I find it very difficult to stick to having cold showers. I find them absolutely unbearable. And what's happened recently is that I have been learning another language. I've been learning Spanish. I updated my description on my channel to accommodate to that. I may make videos about languages as I learn more about the Spanish language, and I'm interested in learning about other languages as well. As a young child, I used to learn French, but I didn't retain any of the information. I just know like La Garcion, the boy and whatnot. And under no, that's Spanish. Under trois, quatre. I know that I can count up to 10 without a problem, and then it gets. Oh, and I can probably count up to 20, and then it gets difficult for me. But yeah, I'm keeping myself busy with that really, and taking porn out of your life, it leaves like a dark, deep dark hole, and it's a philosophical hole. It's like what life is like without God, because the absence of God and wanting to find God, and with that absence, it leaves this feeling where you just have free space basically, and the freedom inside of that, it's where you can get trapped, and everyone is seeking out something to fill the God-shaped hole inside of them, and that's how we came to pornography. This is according to the philosophy of Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre? Sartre. And it's this emptiness that we struggle with. And I've always struggled to find identity. I have acted in ways which I haven't felt have been true to what I'm like as a person, that don't represent me, that don't carry me. And there's a lot of neglect where I haven't been the best possible version of myself. I've been finding excuses, making excuses, getting out of it, and making myself a victim, blaming other people. And porn has made me more isolated. It's the reason why at the moment I don't have any friends. And it's hard to get the friends back into your life when you have nothing to offer them. And I have skills, a particular set of skills, and I am growing as a person with languages. And in a previous video I showed a painting that I did, although I don't get to paint a lot because I also am a student. And I do have skills. I do have skills which I can use to meet new people, make friends. It's building on the social skills side of it, which I need as well, so I can market and carry myself and be more of a fun, interesting person. You need to take it step by step, little by little, and I often underestimate the steps. I think I can just I can just run up the steps like Rocky. I don't have to take my time, and when I trip on a step, it really hurts. When I trip on a step and get caught and I'm bleeding, I kind of take a couple of steps back, and it'd be more profitable in the long run to take it one step at a time. And this holds true for it holds true for social skills, because I actually asked my grandma, who is currently in control of my finances. I know beta. I'm actually getting my account sorted. I'm 19, sitting behind in college for a year. So because I've changed subject. So what's happening is that I'm going to make friends and influence people. I've read the book before. I know a bit about it, but do I really? I mean, I can't implement it. So I will be able to get more success in my social interactions once I'm able to internalize the steps, make that a natural process, and then I'll be able to go up further, and I'll be able to zone out and see everything for what it is and how far I've came. It'd be very enlightening, to feel very enlightening to experience that. And so I'm going to practice it out on weekends. This weekend I've been in. I was supposed to get my hair cut, but I decided that my hair isn't quite long enough, because I'm basically just going to get it trimmed at the sides and have like a bit of fringe. I have a triangular shaped face. It's more of a triangle. And I'm debating whether to shave this off. It's pretty gnarly, isn't it? It's not. It's all growing under there, my throat region. It's not filling out on my face. No, if I'm supposed to spare you the trouble with that. Yeah. So I went on Omegle, and it's good that I'm getting the urge now to socialize, but I actually do need to learn the skills needed to have a normal conversation with another human. And I spoke to a few different people. I was thoroughly embarrassed by my conversation with someone who speaks Spanish. Like, I spoke to two people. I was skipped by both of them. One of them, I formulated a sentence, and then it was that I don't speak Spanish, and yo no hablo español. And then I was going to say mucho, like I don't speak Spanish that much. I thoroughly embarrassed myself. I embarrassed myself in front of a woman. I held up my cat and I said una gatita, and she was into it, she was like staring, smiling at the cat. And then I started speaking English, and it was like utterly repulsive, and I got skipped because I suppose she didn't understand. But yeah, the other conversations I had were quite brief. Like, people, because I put on one of my tags at English, people wanting to know how to speak English, and I don't know the difference between a verb and a noun. So it was very one-sided with them asking, and I wasn't fully reciprocating because I couldn't understand what they were asking, because they were phrasing it different, because their language must have been from like a different perspective, like a third person perspective, and it seemed very wacky with my language being from a first person perspective, what they were talking about, like they were zoning out on the concept of time. And I said, I'm not a time traveler. And that was a bit offensive, a bit rude, so I got skipped. So I need to learn social etiquette. and that I need to, because it'd be easier when I've got a system to grasp the topics that I want to talk about. Because in my own way, I'm just as bad as that. Like, I'm sure they have a lot of friends who speak the same language as them. I'm sure about that, but I'm pretty much like them. Like, I'm still very young in the social language. And it is a language, and a lot of it's body language as well. And I grew up in a single mother household where I didn't go outside that often, and that needs to be fixed. I just realised about the light. Like, there's nothing I can do to change what has happened in the past, because I'm not like that guy who I spoke to on Omegle, who was a time traveller. But I can still improve, I can still fix things, I can still make amends to myself socially. Your brain doesn't stop developing until after you're 25. And I'm reasonably intelligent. I don't consider myself to be Einstein. I'm reasonably intelligent. But with the framework, I have decided, and I've said this in the last couple of videos, not to do a dopamine detox. Yesterday I relapsed, not in the PMO sense, but I ended up watching way too many YouTube videos. So I've decided to narrow it down to only the productive channels, only the channels that do videos on productivity and whatnot. And the framework that I'm going to work off of to implement habits like my mental health is going to be, implement habits like working out, learning Spanish, studying, whatnot, socializing, is going to be my mental health. And I'm going to work on, first and foremost, improving my mental health so that I can be more consistent with habits. It will make me less whiny and more organised and consistent in conversations. And with that sense of clarity and mental clarity, because you get a lot of it on NoFap, especially after day 60. But in combination with, which it's going to be even better, like my streak will be even longer, but in combination with learning about mental health, educating myself on that, I'll pretty much be God level. And then I can feel comfortable in myself